Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday, October 25th, and I've got the Poseidon Ambition here next to me. I finished installing the microshift sword group set, the 1x setup, and I've realized that I've got a potential for some improvement. So this is the front brake. It's real nice and responsive. And then on the rear brake, it's a little squishy. Nothing out of the ordinary, what I would probably be used to be feeling. This lever does make it feel a little bit better, but you can kind of, it's hard to explain, but this is just, it feels resistance and more difficult to push rather than this front one. Feels a little bit more like a almost hydraulic feeling with the amount of effort that I have to put on this. And the reason that I believe that is because I've got the, I don't know if it'll come up there, I've got the front housing as a Jagwire because I had to switch out the cable, the original cable that came on the bike, ended up getting kinked or something, and the front brake wasn't working at all. It was really hard to push. Like I think there was a bend in the cable. So I changed that out because I had it extra on hand. So I've now noticed that this one feels really nice to use, and then the back one is kind of not. And that's what I'm kind of thinking is going on here. So I went ahead and I placed an order on Amazon. I got the Jagwire Road Pro brake cable kit. I'm gonna install this on the rear line and see if that helps with the feeling of that, which I'm hoping that it does. So let's do that and see how it goes. This is the, what is this? Ice gray, so it's not black. And I'm hoping, and it's not a big deal if I don't have enough, but I'm hoping I'll be able to do the rear and the front with this new line, just so it matches a little bit. I will have the same, I'll still have the black hose for the shifter cable. Not a big deal. Again, not a big deal anyway, but this will just kind of add a little bit of contrast to the bike. So the bike is black, the cables are black, which, you know, it's fine, but we'll see how this goes. See if I have enough. I think there's like 300 or 3,000 millimeters of length. I don't know, I saw somewhere. It doesn't really say, but the first time when I got this kit, and I don't think I got this particular one, I got it for the original X that I had, that I no longer have, and I didn't have enough to do both. And that's the reason why I had cable left, I think. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. So we're gonna put this on and see how it goes, if I have extra, and we'll just kind of document a little bit of the install. I'm probably not going to do like a full-on step-by-step, this is what you have to do, because it's going to get very long. So I'll just cut and paste some of the footage that I capture here. We're going to have to untape the bar, which this is an opportunity to take off this white tape. I'll probably replace it with the black that I have. I have two different types of black. I have the same cork type tape, which I really like the feel of, in black, non-adhesive. And then I think I have a Super Kaz kind of rip-off or knockoff in black as well that I might use. I don't know. Okay, so opening up this package, there's not a whole lot to it. You get a little plastic bag full of the ends, the barrels, all the things that you might need in there. And then you basically get the cables. So it looks like you get two things of cable, and the actual cables for the brakes. These are the road style, so it's got that mushroom head. and then the actual housing. So this is interesting. The last kit that I had didn't come with this exposed piece. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing maybe that goes and that feeds underneath where the routes underneath the bar tape, because this is a road specific kit called out there. So I'm assuming that that means that this side is going to go into the lever and it'll be covered up. Yep, it actually even says right there, brake lever end. Now the only issue that I have is it's internally routed. Am I going to have enough length? So I have to be careful with how much I use if I want to use the additional for the front. Now keep in mind the front is a hell of a lot shorter than the rear. So the rear comes from the right side here. It routes underneath the bar tape, and then it comes down through the frame, down underneath the bottom bracket, and then down through the non-drive side chainstay. So there's the potential that this will work just fine. We'll see how it goes. I just get a little nervous when I'm doing internal routing because I might not have enough. I mean, there's plenty here to at least do the rear, and that's all that really matters. But if I want to get matching this gray on both, I think that would be best. And I can afford to lose a little bit of this slack here, I think, maybe, in the exposed part that's coming out of the frame. I can probably get away with shortening this up a little bit, so we'll see how that goes as well. All right, so I've done the hardest part. I've gotten the cable in the lever, tape undone, pushed through the first hole, that's easy, down the down tube. That was a little bit of a challenge getting it to come out of the hole in the bottom because the way the cable kind of just twists in there, it hits and then you push it too far and there's not a lot of room to get your finger in there. I was able to pull it through with a Allen head, using it kind of as a hook, getting up there, grabbing it, pulling it through nice and tight, and then up underneath the chain stay, there's a hole that it has to go through and come out. This side was a little bit of a challenge because there's this little piece here, this plastic keeper. This had to come off, and then feeding this through here, there's a tight space. Same thing, I couldn't get the Allen key in there, but I used an awl. I used this and I poked through the end of the hole as I saw it come through, and I just kind of fed it through like this and kind of held on to it as I pushed the cable from the top, and it was able to kind of feed out. So you just kind of have to persuade it, give it a little bit of a guide, and eventually it'll come out. So now what I got to do, probably pretty important, put this piece back on. So I'm going to just feed this over top of the housing like so, route it all the way through, and clip it back in the hole there. This goes in and it kind of clips into place. You can kind of hear it click. It's got a little tab there for removal, so just beware of that. So now I've got quite a bit of line left hanging out the back, and I've also got quite a bit of line hanging out the front, so I'm confident that I'm going to be able to do both the front and the rear. And the front is a heck of a lot easier on this bike because the routing straight through and out, it just comes out and it's good to go. So depending on how this goes, we may also do the front, or we might just wait. We'll see. So now I'm going to kind of size it up. I've got this front cable, or the shift cable, as kind of a guide as to how much I might need to keep out, and I kind of want to shorten it up a bit. But we got to also consider that we got to keep it wrapped here under the bar. So with that, got to make sure you can turn both ways. That seems like a pretty good length there. You could probably get away with maybe a little bit more. thinking that's probably good there. So that's gonna be my cut. Now I've got all this extra here. I don't wanna pull it through anymore. Okay, so we got that. That's in place. This is already pulled through. So now you wanna kinda eyeball it here. I don't know if this is showing up. I guess it is. So eyeball it here. I'm gonna cut this, and that should give me just about enough length to have enough left over for the front. So you wanna make sure you have a good pair of cutters. Nice and easy. Measure twice, cut once, measure once, cut twice if you're me. So then we take our awl again, kind of just widen up that cut. And then we're gonna get a barrel end or a end cap, pop an end on there. These are really nice. These are really nice. They're black and they say Jagwire on them. So kind of cool. Pop this on here. Should fit over that, just like so. And then this should just kind of pop right in there. I need just a bit of slack and we should be good. So you can see there, that's pretty good. I'm able to turn the handlebars. So now the only thing we got to do is feed the cable through. Now this part might be the most important part. We've got to make sure that these cables are the same size as far as the length. They look like they are, but I would assume one might be shorter to represent the front brake. And let's see, let it unravel. Yeah, so there's one that's significantly shorter here. You can see that one hanging off. It's about half the size of the longer cable, so that's going to be your rear. Don't get it mixed up because you don't want to put the short one in the rear or start by doing the front and use the short or use the long one and cut it, and then you're already messed up for the rear. So my advice, if you're getting this kit, do the rear first depending on your frame configuration. If it's external routing, it's going to be a lot easier. Internal routing, you might have to be a little bit more careful. So in this case, just make sure that you're using the right cable for the rear brake. That's going to be the longer one. So we'll just feed this up through here. And I don't know where the hole is for this. Guess I found it. That's rare. So we should see it pop out there in the bottom. Once we make it all the way through, there it is. So you have plenty of length here for the rear. It's still coming, still coming, still coming, still coming. Feed that all the way through, and once we do, we'll pull it nice and tight. Make sure this is all butted up against itself here in the front. So what we're doing now is making sure that we keep the cables where we kind of want them. So that's going to hold those in place. I'll cut that in a second to get this through there. Don't take the pedals with you. Okay, so that you're going to want to make sure is nice and tight and where you want it. Make sure it lines up properly. And I'm going to go ahead and cinch this down right here. Doesn't have to be like super aggressively tight, but you want it tight enough to where it's not gonna slip through there when you go to apply pressure to the brake. Oh yeah, so that is a lot better. I'm gonna show you up here. Yeah, so right away, this is already so much better. And it's gonna feel a little bit different than the front, simply because the front is a lot shorter of a pull. So the back is going through this whole entire area, but that is like night and day. That feels really, really, really good. So that, I'm a believer now. Before I wasn't sure, simply because I didn't have any comparison. I think I might have actually even got maybe the wrong kit before, I don't know. But that is nice. That's gonna make a huge difference in braking effort. I already noticed it yesterday on the front for sure. So we'll wrap this up and see how it goes from here on out. All right, so now I need to back out this rear just a bit because got a little too much tension on it. So now, that's good, it's not rubbing. And we'll test out the braking. Super easy, amazing. All right guys, so one final quick update here before I end the video. I ended up not liking the fact that I didn't shorten the shift cable, because then I had like this extra cable sticking out here. So now I've got the shift cable and the rear brake feeding through the non-drive side. We've got a contrasting silver and black, kind of neat. And it's nice and short. And then on the left side, we've got the front brake coming down, and it's not super long either, so it looks pretty clean. I didn't cut the shift cable. However, what I did do is I just pushed it through the frame, pulled it through the bottom bracket area, and then I just extended it up here at the back. And this will be fine for now. It does look a little funny, but it works just fine. But what I can do with this, instead of unwrapping the bar up there, I could pull the cable out, pop the end off, push it through the lever, back it off enough, snip it here, put the end cap back on, feed it through, push the cable back through the housing, bam, tighten it up, you're done. Versus coming up at the top where I'm gonna have to undo the bar tape again and retape. All right, hey guys, quick little update again. So I went ahead and I cut out, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of the shift cable, put a new cable in, figured why not? Might as well, I've got nothing else to do today. It's already dark out, so. Just a quick look here. So it's good there towards the bottom bracket, and then up through here. And I didn't have to take the tape off again. So I kind of lined this up here. So it's pretty nice here. Initially I just pushed it through and then pulled it out through the back, and had that big old loop in there that you saw in the last clip. But it looked kind of silly, and Microshift does suggest that you have more of a relaxed loop here. So like not as extreme, no real long loop here, no bend. So this is kind of like a slight curve. There's enough there to where it'll go back and forth, hopefully. I am gonna have to try to retune this shifter here, or the derailleur I should say, because I had to take the cable off. It's a new cable. Don't really know the tension that I need initially, so I'll have to play with it. I adjusted my barrel here, so that way it's about halfway in and out. So I've got a little bit of insurance to go either in or out on this if I need more slack or less slack versus before. I think this was tuned all the way in, so I couldn't really bring it in to give it more slack, but I could bring it out and it was getting too much slack. So that was the problem that I had setting it up. I didn't check this barrel adjuster to begin with, so that should be fine. So now it's gonna be basically pretty much done. All I have to do is roll this hood back down. The cable for the shifter, really convenient here. So if you need to change your shift cable, it's right there. It just feeds right in through there. You only have to roll back the hoods, and then, you know, the brake cable's inside. All you have to do is pull it out through there. So this is the right lever, so the rear brake now feels really nice. It's not all squishy. Definitely an improvement. So we'll get a real-time review here in the next couple days when I can get outside. Yeah, really nice. So this is the Jagwire KEBSL, and that is the, I have the packaging over here. This is the Road Pro Kit, available on Amazon. I think this is like 35 bucks. It's gonna give me more than enough to do both the front and the rear. So I'm gonna do the front maybe one day, maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it like this with the black and the gray. Not really a big deal. The front cable is short enough, in my opinion, so I don't need to really tidy that up. So I think we're good to go. So we'll do a real ride review here in the next couple days, and that'll about wrap this one up. I think the bike is pretty much in the best state that it could be in. You know, I don't know what the weight is. It's probably around 24, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little less than 24, could possibly be around 23. Haven't weighed it, but I do know it's lighter than it was before. And yeah, so thanks for watching. As always, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.